Lamar University basketball with Coach Tick Price. Brought to you by Provost Humphrey Law Firm, ExxonMobil, Kinzel Toyota, Howe Furniture Gallery, Bob Wortham, Raymond James Financial, and Susan and Roger McCurry.
We pick up a new season for the Lamar Cardinals at a terrific time. 10 games already in the win column, and this Cardinal team showing it can contend for the Southland Conference Basketball Championship. Hello again, everyone. I'm Greg Kerr, along with head coach Tick Price. Coach, thanks for having me back for another year. I appreciate that.
Thanks for agreeing to do it. We had a lot of fun last year.
Absolutely. It looks like we're going to have as much fun this year, maybe a little bit more. Your team's off to a really good start.
Yeah, so far. We got off to a good start and had a little bump in the road, 4 games, and then we came back, bounced back, got a win, went back on the road, lost one. So we just got to be more consistent. But now that we're in conference play, it's going to be a wild race.
Yeah, you took quite the road trip going to Illinois, Pittsburgh, and then out to Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Was that good for the team to see different kind of talent at that kind of level, or how are you looking at it?
Well, it wasn't good for the team. The outcome wasn't good, but certainly the travel was probably a little bit much. When I agreed to schedule those games, I thought those teams would be good in terms of different styles of play, and which we'll see when we get into our conference. But I didn't really think about the demands of the travel, and how much it would weigh, especially when we went from the East Coast to the West Coast, from Pittsburgh to Vegas. Right. And then we played back-to-back after we got to Vegas. I thought we'd get tough, but I looked at it, okay, in tournament play, we'll play back-to-back. So maybe it will help us as we get in conference play when we get to Southland Conference Tournament in Katy.
All right, let's get into Southland Conference play right now. We have 3 games to show you. First up, the conference opener with Houston Baptist. Lamar ends a 4-game skid against the Huskies. And Coach, you guys got off to a good start. Didn't show weary legs at all from that road trip. This game was played December 28th, right after Christmas, which I'm sure is always a concern for coaches, wondering how your players will respond after a little bit of a break.
Well, you know, I thought our kids needed to go home after Vegas, spend a couple of days with their family, celebrate Christmas. When they got back, they were fresh, ready to go again. James Harrison really shot the ball well, ended up with 22 points. Josh and Zecor had a double-double, like 12 points, 16 rebounds. Zori Bosha had 19 points. We ended up with like 22 assists. As a team, we shared the basketball. I thought we showed the ability to bounce back, and in my opinion, showed a lot of character.
And when you take on a team like Houston Baptist that has been a tough beat lately, it's got to make you feel a little bit good getting off the blocks like you did.
Well, in fact, we had lost to Houston Baptist, I think, like 3 straight years. And they got the big kid inside who didn't play. He was injured. But I thought our guys did a good job of just staying locked in, playing in the moment. I thought we started off the first 10 minutes of the game with a lot of energy and started the second half with the same sort of energy, and then we closed the game out very strong. So I was real proud of the fact that we were able to show the ability to bounce back after the struggle in Vegas.
And for much of the game, you're working on about a 10-point lead. You stretched that out a little bit as that second half wore on. Were you able to kind of wear them down inside? And again, there's Zecor with a bucket, and he had a nice game.
Well, Josh is doing a good job in terms of getting in passing lanes, denying people from reversing the ball inside. He's doing a good job of sealing. We're having the presence of mind to throw over the top when people try to front him. When people play behind, he's developed nice post moves. Of course, Colton attracted a lot of attention. But now that he's attracting the attention, and Zecor is capitalizing off of it.
Absolutely. And here's your final score for the Montaigne Center. Lamar wins it over the Huskies in a rout, 82-68 in the conference opener. James Harrison, 22. Zori Bosha, 19. LU shot 57% from three-point land. All right, let's go back on the road now. Lamar goes down to the coast. A little beach time for the Cardinals? No, not necessarily. Yeah. Taking on the Islanders of Corpus Christi, another team that's been a tough beat for you guys of late, but you're able to get on the road and get it done.
Yeah, that was a game we just played on, I guess it was Wednesday night. Had a tough travel on Friday going to Corpus. That's about a 5-hour drive for us. I was a little bit concerned about our psychic. We always tell us our old mafia saying, after victory, sharpen your knife. And
I like
thought
that
our kids did a good job in staying locked in. And we had, again, another total team effort. Colton Weisbrod had a monster game. He had like 26 points and about 12 rebounds. And he was like unstoppable. He hit like four threes. They were just giving him open looks because I guess they thought he couldn't shoot out there. And he's put in a lot of time this summer and has developed a mid-range jumper. But he also proved he can knock down threes if you leave him open.
And Colton kind of knew that, I think, probably coming into the season. Then you guys had to kind of work on his perimeter game a bit because, you know, these defenses were collapsing on him.
Yeah.
He's got that nice spin move. He's strong to the bucket. But if he's showing range like that, this makes him double tough.
Yeah, it makes it tough, and you know, it opens the floor, spreads the defense, and then that's why Nziko is getting the opportunity to score a little bit more. He's got a lot more room now to operate on the blocks and in the paint, especially when Colton's knocking down shots on the perimeter. Now we run a 4-out-1 in, which gives Nziko some opportunities, and then we also, with Colton, he's developed his ball handling, so we've got some isolation plays where he can sweep and go with the ball as well.
And, Coach, you know, when you guys are hitting the three-point shot, this makes you extra difficult to cover, and that opens up a lot for the guys down on the post, right?
Yeah, it does. You know, when you look at this team, though, we've got some guys who can really shoot the basketball, and we've got to continue to get in that gym, put in that overtime work. And when people decide they want to sag inside, they're going to have to pick their poison. Either they're going to have to guard out on the perimeter or sag inside. But we can be a very dangerous team when we get it going.
And the Cardinals won their second straight conference game, beating A&M Corpus Christi 77-72. Colton Weisbrod led the way with 26 points, 14 rebounds. Nick Garth had 19. Josh Nziko had 17 and 11 rebounds. Lamar goes to 10-5 and 2-0 in the Southland Conference. Ready to take a break? Catch your breath.
Boy, that was hard work that time.
2 wins are good. When we come back, our McCurry trivia question, and the Cardinals load the bus for a trip along Interstate 10 to the Crescent City with the league's defending champs, UNO, when we come back.
This is electricity. This is a power plant. This is Tim Barkholtz.
That's me.
This is something he's researching at ExxonMobil, using fuel cells to capture carbon emissions at power plants.
This is the potential.
Reducing CO2 emissions by up to 90%, while also producing more power.
This could be big.
Energy lives here.
Provost Humphrey has spent over 45 years fighting for those suffering from diseases caused by benzene and related chemicals. Today, we continue those efforts by representing workers in the oil, maritime, and shipping industries.
Companies have known for decades that benzene exposure can cause leukemia, myelodysplastic syndrome, and other blood cancers.
Our firm has the assets, resources, and knowledge to stand head-to-head with industry and get you answers and the justice you deserve.
Provost Humphrey, hard-working lawyers for hard-working people.
Hat maker Vincent Brimble prospered in the town of Hattington. Never flashy, he only made the classic bowler. Then suddenly the day's trend became preposterously tall. His Raymond James financial advisor reminded him that focusing on the long term is always fashionable. The fad was indeed a passing one. His patience paid off, allowing him to one day hang up his hat with confidence. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Hi, I'm Susan McCurry.
I'm Roger McCurry, and we love our
Lamar Cardinals.
Show your support for the team this season.
Come join the fun and find out what a great team we have.
Lamar basketball is the best ticket in town, and the LU spirit is fantastic.
Go Cards! 2 powerful teams are now one. Lamar men's basketball and Howell Furniture, a winning combination. Howell Furniture is a proud sponsor of Lamar University basketball with Coach Tick Price. Go Cards!
All right, let's talk a little Lamar basketball history. Here's the Roger and Susan McCurry trivia question. Nick Garth passed this former Lamar Cardinal this season on the list all-time three-point field goal mark. Who is it? Coach, you have any idea who that was? Don't answer if you know it.
Okay, I'm going to hold it to myself.
All right, that's our trivia question for the night. We'll get back in a few minutes to that answer. It's a good one. Nick Garth can shoot the rock, right?
Yes, he can. You got to guard as soon as he get out his car.
That's right. Never met a shot he didn't like.
No. I saw a guy fake the ball and he still shot the ball.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we're back with the Lamar Cardinal basketball show with head coach Tick Price. Lamar, you go back on the road. Coach, you go back on the road to take on New Orleans. Another place that's been difficult for you guys to win. This team won the conference championship last year, and you knew taking the road trip this would be a tough one, right?
Yeah, we knew it would be a tough game for us. They got DNA in their team. They won on a very high level. We knew that we had to pass the toughness test. They're very physical. They play very hard. We did not match their effort, especially early in the game. Second half, we picked it up, but by then it was very tough to come back after you dig a hole that deep.
Yeah, it was 13-2 at one point, 25-8, I believe, in that first half. Like you mentioned, a tough start. You did shut it down to, or close it down rather, to 4 points, but didn't have enough down the stretch to beat a good privateer basketball team.
Yeah, they're very tough at home too. They're well coached. They've got some veterans. Thibodeau it's a tough matchup for us. He's 6'8", 6'9", can run like a gazelle, can step inside and out. They're all five guys just pound off offensive glass. You got to put bodies on them. And then they come in, bring guys in off the bench who can't shoot as well, but they score the ball very well. But I thought they're talented in one area. That's effort. There's some teams, that's half the battle. If you can get your team to play as hard as they do. And hopefully we can see them again, maybe in the tournament, and then hopefully it'll be a different outcome.
Yeah, the way the conference is set up, you only play them once a year, right?
Yeah.
What do you learn as you looked at tape of this game? What'd you learn? Not that you want to give away any trade secrets or anything, but what'd you learn about your team?
Well, early on, we did not execute on the offensive end. We ran some plays for our inside people. Our timing was bad. Our spacing was bad. We were not aggressive on the defensive end. Defense, people understand defense is the hardest part of the game, and I didn't think that we played with the intensity that we needed to play with. The officials allowed both teams to play. Both teams shot 13 free throws in 40 minutes. So with them allowing the game to be so physical, I thought it was to their advantage.
Yeah. And they're all 13 of 13 from the line was the Privateers. Lamar loses by 10. Josh and Zecor had another terrific game, 15 points. Ori Bosha with 14. The Cardinals dropped to 2-1 in conference. UNO remained unbeaten. Well, time again this week for the Provost Umphrey Player of the Week, and it goes to junior post Josh and Zecor. He had a pretty solid three-game run, good enough to earn Conference Player of the Week honors. In 3 games, Josh averaged about 15 points and nearly 11 rebounds a game. Josh and Zecor, the SLC and Provost Umphrey Player of the Week. And, Coach, you've got to be pleased with the improvement he's made now in his 3rd year with you.
Yeah, well, he started as a freshman, so he's been battle tested. You're talking about 3 years. He's learned to seal. He's got a nice little jump hook, right hand, left hand. He powers to the rim. He's very athletic, can run the floor. He's really, every year we've seen an extension of his game. He's really worked at his game, especially this past summer.
Does he take a little bit of a load off Colton Weisbrod down on the blocks as well when he's working well down there?
I think they take a load off each other. They complement each other well. They enjoy playing with each other. I think that they have made each other better just because they have competed so hard against each other. And then you've got these 2 young guys, our freshmen, Avery Sullivan and Jordan Foster. They're banging inside with them as well. And so it has helped both Josh as well as Colton Weisbrod to play against those 2 young guys. So we're trying to bring them along to be the future of Lamar basketball.
Absolutely. And here's a look at the Southland Conference standings. New Orleans and Southeastern Louisiana off to a quick starts, both unbeaten. Lamar, Abilene Christian, and Nichols with one loss. SFA, the other preseason pick to win the league at 1-1. Central Arkansas, who's in Beaumont tonight, at 1-2. Well, next up on the Lamar Basketball Show with head coach Tick Price, we'll talk with a former Cardinal who's now running the show in the LU Athletic Department.
I'm Bob Wortham, your district attorney and a Lamar graduate. Basketball and law enforcement have a lot in common. To have a winning basketball program, all players must work together. To have a safe and successful community, all citizens must work with law enforcement. If you witness a crime, report your facts immediately. If you receive a jury summons, don't look for a way out. Take the opportunity to serve. Let your voice be heard. Let's all work together for a safe Jefferson County.
Hey Lamar basketball fans, how would you like a free car wash? When the Cardinals win this week, you also win. Bring your ticket stub from a winning game to Kinsel Toyota before the Cardinals' next home game and receive a free car wash. When the Cardinals win this week, you win a free car wash from Kinsel Toyota, a proud supporter of Lamar basketball. Kinsel Toyota and Lamar basketball, a winning combination. Let's go Cardinals.
Two powerful teams are now one. Lamar men's basketball and Howell Furniture, a winning combination. Howell Furniture is a proud sponsor of Lamar University basketball with Coach Tick Price. Go Cards!
Back with the Lamar Basketball Show. Norman Ballard is now the interim athletics director at Lamar. He played as a Cardinal basketball player back in 1976 through 79. He averaged 7 points a game. Let's bring him in now, because you are averaging 100 as far as I'm concerned, considering what you're doing now at the school. You've taken over a position that's never easy running the athletic departments, but congratulations on that. And how's that going for you here in the last month and a half or two?
Well, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
It's both a great opportunity as well as great challenges, but I embrace those opportunities as well as challenges. But we just picked the ball up and kept running with it, and we're moving along every day.
And I'm sure working with Coach Price has been a delight, right?
Oh, you know, Chick and I go way back.
Right, I know.
Way back. It's a delight to work with all of our coaches. We have a great coaching staff, a great athletic staff.
Let's go back to your playing days at Lamar, that magical season of 1979 when you guys reached the Sweet 16. Pretty fond memories, isn't it? Because that was really kind of out of nowhere. Lamar always had a pretty good program under Billy Tubbs, but this was like, wow.
Well, 79, Greg, was the year that we went to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and played the University of Detroit. When they were ranked number 17th in the nation, they had Smokey Gaines as the coach, and we were number 5 in the nation in scoring and playing Billy ball. And Clarence Key Pick had 33 points and 19 rebounds Friday night. And in the post-game interview, it was the first time that a Southland Conference university had won a major Division I playoff game. And so he made a comment, something along the lines of, we just sent the number 17 team home. They were looking forward to an all-Michigan second round. Bring on Michigan State.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, then Sunday afternoon we showed up to play Michigan State, and you know, we pressed everybody. And so we did not know very much about the 6'9" phenom at the time with the nickname Irvin Magic Johnson.
That's right.
We knew about him very well after the game, though.
You can always say you're beaten by the national champs.
We were beaten by the national champs.
And so by the time you're playing Irvin Johnson, Coach Price played at Virginia Tech, and he was going against Larry Bird, who played for Indiana State. So both of you guys got a taste of the two teams and two of the great players of all time right there in one tournament.
Exactly. On a radio show last year, we determined that we figured out at the same time, simultaneously, my assignment was to guard Magic. Didn't do that very well. And then Tick shared that his assignment was to stop Larry.
Right.
But I'll let Tick talk about that in more depth. Yeah.
Right. All right, Norman, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me.
More time next time. Thank you very much. Next up on the Lamar Basketball Show with Tick Price, we'll bring in Lamar's head of basketball operations. Stick around.
Hat maker Vincent Brimble prospered in the town of Hattington. Never flashy, he only made the classic bowler. Then suddenly the day's trend became preposterously tall. His Raymond James financial advisor reminded him that focusing on the long term is always fashionable. The fad was indeed a passing one. His patience paid off, allowing him to one day hang up his hat with confidence. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Hi, I'm Susan McCurry.
I'm Roger McCurry, and we love our Lamar Cardinals. Show your support for the team this season.
Come join the fun and find out what a great team we have.
Lamar basketball is the best ticket in town, and the LU spirit is fantastic.
Go Cards!
Hey Lamar basketball fans, how would you like a free car wash? When the Cardinals win this week, you also win. Bring your ticket stub from a winning game to Kinsel Toyota before the Cardinals' next home game and receive a free car wash. When the Cardinals win this week, you win a free car wash from Kinsel Toyota, a proud supporter of Lamar basketball. Kinsel Toyota and Lamar basketball, a winning combination. Let's go Cardinals.
We are back with the Lamar Basketball Show with head coach Tick Price. Let's bring in now Lamar's head of basketball operations, Joey Cantafio, who's been nice enough to stop by the studio tonight. Joey, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Greg.
So tell us what basketball operations, what is your job and play? You obviously do a lot of different things under a huge umbrella, right?
Yep. Well, one of the main things I do, and we've been doing this recently, is we've been traveling a lot. So I'm in charge of all the team travel. That's been a big part of my responsibility as of late. In the summer, I run all the camps. And then really, it's just a long list of things that I do.
Right, and if the bus isn't on time or the plane isn't on time or the food's not on time, you're the first person to know about it, aren't you?
Exactly.
Have you run any kind of snags at all on the road so far?
Yeah, every now and then there's always little fires you got to put out here and there, but we got all hands on deck, so we usually figure it out.
Now, where are you from? What's your basketball background?
I'm originally from Virginia. I moved around a little bit. In my childhood, my dad was also a coach, so we bounced around a little bit. I came to Lamar from Tulane, so I was in New Orleans for 3 years, and then before that, I was coaching with the high school team in the D.C. area.
Oh, okay. So you've been around the block a few times. You're still a young guy, but that's what coaching and we joke about this with Coach about coaching and television are a lot alike because there's a lot of moving around, so you have to get used to that, right?
Exactly.
So what's your major aspirations as you move along in your career?
I want to continue to be involved with basketball and just keep progressing in my career. The next step would be to become an assistant somewhere. If it wasn't here at Lamar, somewhere else, but right now I'm in a good spot, working for a great guy, and happy to be here.
And there is a Virginia connection between you two, right?
There is, ironically. I didn't know Coach until I knew about the job opening, but we have a lot of mutual friends back in Virginia.
That's great. It's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Exactly.
All right, Joey, thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll take our final timeout, but on the other side of the break, we'll answer our trivia question and discuss the next opponent. Next.
This is electricity. This is a power plant. This is Tim Barkholtz.
That's me.
This is something he's researching at ExxonMobil, using fuel cells to capture carbon emissions at power plants.
This is the potential.
Reducing CO2 emissions by up to 90%, while also producing more power.
This could be big.
Energy lives here.
This is a non-attorney spokesperson. If you've had a hernia repair operation that used mesh after 2007 and it caused you suffering or required you to schedule a corrective surgery, you may be entitled to money damages. Due to a defective hernia mesh product, the FDA has received numerous reports about hernias that have reopened and caused patients to undergo corrective surgery. If you or a loved one were hurt by a mesh implant or required additional surgery after hernia surgery, you may be entitled to money damages. Call 800-228-6219. That's 800-228-6219.
Hey Lamar basketball fans, how would you like a free car wash? When the Cardinals win this week, you also win. Bring your ticket stub from a winning game to Kinsel Toyota before the Cardinals' next home game and receive a free car wash. When the Cardinals win this week, you win a free car wash from Kinsel Toyota, a proud supporter of Lamar basketball. Kinsel Toyota and Lamar basketball, a winning combination. Let's go Cardinals.
Hi, I'm Susan McCurry.
I'm Roger McCurry, and we love our Lamar Cardinals. Show your support for the team this season.
Come join the fun and find out what a great team we have.
Lamar basketball is the best ticket in town, and the LU spirit is fantastic.
Go Cards!
I'm Bob Wortham, your district attorney and a Lamar graduate. Basketball and law enforcement have a lot in common. To have a winning basketball program, all players must work together. To have a safe and successful community, all citizens must work with law enforcement. If you witness a crime, report your facts immediately. If you receive a jury summons, don't look for a way out. Take the opportunity to serve. Let your voice be heard. Let's all work together for a safe Jefferson County.
And time now to show you the Howell Furniture trivia question. This season, Nick Garth passed his former Lamar Cardinal for all-time three-point field goals. Who was it? The answer is Matt Sundblad. Matt made 192 for his career in the late 1990s. Oddly enough, going into the season, they were shooting the same percentage at 38.4. And Coach, boy, Nick has done this in short order pretty much.
Yeah, well, everybody said how good Matt could shoot the basketball. But for Nick to break that record as a junior, I just think that he's got an incredible future. That record is going to probably last for quite a while because Nick can really shoot the basketball. He
really can. All right, Coach, you have Central Arkansas coming in today for a game with you guys. You're on your home court. What do you expect from the Bears?
Well, they average about 82 points a game. They get it out and go. They got one of the outstanding shooters in college basketball, and Jordan Howard. He's averaging about 25 points a game. They've got 5 guys. They run an open post. All 5 guys can knock down threes. It's going to be a very tough test, and we've got to be willing to close out and contest shots and try to make sure we contain Jordan Howard because he's one of the most exciting players you can ever watch.
All right, Lamar looking to take care of Central Arkansas. Coach, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
First show, got it done.
There you go.
All right, good luck against Central Arkansas.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week on the Lamar Basketball Show with head coach Tick Price.
Lamar University Basketball with Coach Tick Price. Brought to you by Provost Humphrey Law Firm, ExxonMobil, Kinsel Toyota, Howell Furniture Gallery, Bob Wortham, Raymond James Financial, and Susan and Roger McCurry.